Pilgrim's Rest was once a thriving mining town in the late 1800s and today provides visitors with an opportunity to visit a well-preserved village with many authentic and original buildings. It's located on the tarred R533 route between the towns of Graskop and Oorikstad in Mpumalanga. The village was once brimming with life in the late 1800s, with eager prospectors swarming into the area to find alluvial gold. Today it's a quiet little tourist town trying to preserve its rich and diverse history. The village evolved into two distinct halves, the upper and lower villages. There's a short uninhabited zone between these two sections. Our tour starts at the upper village. There are many fascinating old buildings to see, which transport the visitor back to the heady old days of the gold rush in 1883. The well-preserved village is perhaps a little spoiled by the large number of local vendors and car guards, whose numbers by far exceed the number of visitors. Alluvial gold was first discovered by prospector Alex Patterson. He panned Pilgrim's Creek, as it became known, when the nearby Mac diggings became too crowded. He kept his find a secret, but a gold rush resulted from fellow prospector William Trafford when he registered his claim with the gold commissioner at Mac. After it was officially declared a gold field in September 1873, the town suddenly grew to 1,500 inhabitants, each searching for their little piece of gold. In the 1880s, the alluvial gold dwindled and prospectors were attracted to Barberton's newly discovered gold deposits. Towards the end of the 19th century, claims were bought up and underground mining started by the company known as TGME. The better-funded mining companies started mining the deeper gold-bearing ore. By 1895, several small mining companies amalgamated to form the Transvaal Gold Mining Estates. This company was listed on the London Stock Exchange and became the first listed gold mining company in South Africa. Pilgrim's Rest was the location of an emergency mint during the Second Anglo-Boer War, and this mint struck the famous and extremely rare Bonnet. The road now drops steadily northwards towards the Blyde River and the lower half of the village. The Highwayman Garage on the right-hand side of the road, which still operates today, was originally owned by the famous Tommy Dennison, who robbed the stagecoach and after serving his time returned to Pilgrim's Rest to open the business. The nearby Robbers Pass is named after him. One of the diggers, Alec Patterson, left the crowded Mac diggings and went off on his own to explore new territory. Alec earned the nickname of Wheelbarrow when he arrived at the Mac diggings, pushing a wheelbarrow with all his belongings in it. He got rid of his donkey after it kicked him, and he then decided that pushing a wheelbarrow was a less painful and more technologically advanced mode of transport. He pushed his wheelbarrow all the way from the Cape, a distance of some 1,600 kilometers. The news sparked off the biggest gold rush of the time, and on the 22nd of September 1873, Pilgrim's Rest was officially proclaimed a gold field. Towards the northern end of the lower village, the pass ends at the crossing of the Blyde River via a 120-year-old single-width bridge named after Mr. J.S. Joubert, the mine commissioner in the 1890s. The foundation stone has G.B. Giletti as the contractor, but also Celso Giri, an Italian contractor who worked for the ZAR. The bridge is constructed of local dolerite, initially planned for 3 stone arches of 9 meters each, but extended by 1 to the current 4. It suffered storm damage to the eastern buttress in 1909, which was then reconstructed. The bridge was proclaimed a national monument in 1968 and is now a provincial heritage resource in the Mpumalanga province since 1999. It's still functional on the route from Pilgrim's Rest to Oorikstad. If you have the time, take a drive up to the local cemetery a little higher up the hill, where the real heartache of Pilgrim's Rest history is portrayed through the engravings on the tombstones. What is remarkable is how young the people were who died from a range of illnesses, and particularly from malaria. Dead people from all over the world, in particular from Canada, Wales, Ireland and England, are buried here. All part of the cosmopolitan diggers community who were seeking their fortune during the gold rush days. Most of the graves are from those who did not make a fortune on the goldfields. The few who did left Pilgrim's Rest whilst the going was still good. The most visited gravesite in South Africa is the Robber's Grave. It's not difficult to find, as the grave runs along the north-south axis compared to all the other graves which run east-west. Most people believe that the robber who's buried here was the famous highwayman who robbed the stagecoach and after whom Robber's Pass was named. This is incorrect, as it's actually the grave of a prospector who was caught pilfering in other prospectors' tents. All the heartache aside, this must be one of the most beautifully sited graveyards anywhere in South Africa.